Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Aussie Starcraft, bringing you a ZvZ game. In the bottom centre of Polar Night is going to be our blue Zerg player Aces Bly. In the top central location is our green Zerg. We're going to have Tefel, our Polish Zerg player, in the top. So this game's not off ladder as a lot of our recent games have been. This series of games that will be cast is actually from the recent Kaspersky Arena. It's an interesting tournament that's run monthly and participated in by high-ranking players. So it's a very fun tournament rather than the standard sort of bracket stages. You have just a few players, I think it's 4 or 5, that compete in a King of the Hill style competition. So players face off against each other in best of 5 games, and whoever takes the series wins a progressively higher amount of money. So for example, the winner of the first series of games gets $100, winner of the second series $200, $300 and then $400. So potentially there's $1,000 on the line for whoever can win the most not win the most series of games, but stay in for the longest. As soon as you lose, you're knocked out. So the first player may progress all the way through and win the full $1,000, or they may get knocked out and lose the money, and a new player steps up. So you'll progressively have a king on the hill, and the other players will step up and try and knock him off. So in this King of the Hill setup so far, Tefel's been playing very well, knocked out his first 2 opponents, and is now up against Aces Bly in some ZvZ action. So Bly throwing down an expansion quite quickly, Tefel instead opting to go for the spawning pool. I'm going to say I like this out of Tefel. It's a lot safer route, particularly on such a short map. The rush distance between these 2 naturals very close together, so I much prefer Tefel's opening with the spawning pool. Make it quite easy to get some Zerglings out and be harassing your opponent's natural very quickly. But sorry for the downtime recently, guys. We had a problem. I was trying to record some old school tapes into MP3s for a friend and managed to fry my headset and sound card, so I had to wait a couple of days to get a replacement. But now demoing out some new hardware, and so I've got to say I'm enjoying it tremendously. Got a new Zona sound card and a nice Vulcan headset, so hopefully the sound will be a lot crisper. Go ahead and give us some feedback on that down below if it's coming through clearly for you. Otherwise, I'm more than happy to try and fiddle with the settings for some optimal listening enjoyment. Right, so Tefel's got his gas going now, just a little bit behind Bly. Bly is likely to grab this 100 and Zergling speed momentarily. Both players are knocking out their queens, 2 on the way from Bly, and Tefel already had 1 in play and a second one up. Benefit of having that spawning pool out just a little bit earlier. So as a result, he'll have just a bit more lava than Bly would have at this stage, and we'll see how he chooses to use that. He's currently going for quite a lot of drones, so if we look at the income tab, we see it is 23 to 21 in Bly's favour, but I imagine, yeah, once those drones pop, shot right up to 26. So bring that production tab back up. We have Zergling speed on the way for both players. Now it's always an interesting choice to see if players leave their drones in gas, and you can see that Tefel's chosen to pull his drones out so that he can continue mining minerals as quickly as possible. He's droning up quite heavily now, 6 and 7 on the way at a time, 8 now on the way, and we'll notice he's already at 30, so that's going to take him to 38 drones and be a substantial lead. Choosing to throw down a spine crawler. Got a bit of an economic edge, wants to make sure he doesn't suffer from any early Zergling aggression. Bly deciding to start walling in with a Baneling nest. Zerg's always really interesting and volatile in the early stages. You have lots of quick moving units like the Speedlings and Speed Banelings, particularly when they're on creep. The engagements can be very quick, and you can win or lose very quickly with either good micro or poor micro. So we'll see how these players go in this early stage of the map. We do in fact have Bly moving out across the map with a large pack of Zerglings, so keep in mind there's a best of 5 series, so some of these games may be long, some of them may be short. Oh, Bly choosing to morph in 10 Banelings here on the ramp, so we'll see if Tefel has anything in store for this. Notice Tefel hasn't actually got any sight of this, so it's been morphed in just out of his sight. Big wall of Zerglings here. These Banelings going to go in. Ooh, potentially a bit of overkill on that spine crawler. Could have done a lot more damage to the actual drone line, but picking off the Queen would be a nice pickup. But Queen managing to survive on almost no HP, and Bly being forced back. I can't help but feel like that was a little bit of sloppy micro. Focusing all those Banelings into killing a spine crawler at this stage really is actually quite cost effective for Tefel. So those Banelings could have done absolute hell on the mineral line if they'd managed to sneak in behind the expansion, or they could have gone straight up and cut off the drones that wanted to retreat. If we look at the workers killed tab, only one worker killed in that exchange. It's quite a poor trade there for Bly, but we have a couple of Banelings here detonating on each other. Bly trying to morph in as many defensive Banelings as he can, and you'll notice that having a simple Baneling advantage can really force back your opponent's Zerglings. They can't really afford to engage when there's Banelings that can detonate and take them out in one hit. Now this low health Baneling managing to take out 3, which is nice, and we have a big Zergling run by in the main. See, this is how it should be done. Zergling's able to almost pick that spine crawler off straight away. Oh, morphing Banelings on the ramps, potentially a little bit bold, but if he can get just 1 or 2 of these to finish up, that'd be massive damage on the pack of Zergling. Still not able to do the damage I'd like to. Only 2 real workers going down from all this harassment, and I can't help but feel that, yeah, in fact, we do have Bly getting the worst end of the deal in these exchanges. Tefel continuing to morph in quite a lot of Zerglings and Banelings. We can see that Bly's got 22 more Zerglings and 14 Banelings on the way, so he's trying to shut this out before it can get to the mutus stage of the game. You'll notice that most Zerg against each other at this point are almost forced by the current metagame to go Zergling Mutalist Baneling. So we'll see if indeed the game does progress to that stage. We have more of this Baneling Zergling back and forth, this brave Zergling about to kill the Baneling and explode in a gory death. One hero Zergling taking one for the team. These Banelings continuing to try and do damage. He probably should have... Oh, 2 Banelings taking out 6. Another big Zergling run by in the main. How much damage can he do? He's continually trying to morph these on the ramp to stop the reinforcements being able to make up. And it's not a bad route to take. It's a nice little effective wall. See the Zerglings that time managing to do a lot more damage. We have 8 workers killed, which is not bad at all. Tefel though now throwing up 12 Mutalisks ahead of Bly, so these will give him quite a lot of map control at this stage of the game. Absolutely no anti-air defense down whatsoever from Bly, so can't help but feel these Mutalisks are going to take Bly by surprise, preempt Bly's Mutalisks by ever so much, and unfortunately for Bly, his third base a little bit behind. Tefel already mining gas on his third base, so he's got a serious gas advantage. You can see that in the income tab. Got an extra 200 or 300 gas a minute, which is going to result in quite a few extra mutas. Though Bly using his mutas to good effect, if he can pick off a few of these overlords, that will slow down Tefel and prevent Tefel from being able to continue to max out on mutas. We notice that Bly's supply block now, his own overlords having been picked off as well. This third base could go down. This could be very bad news for Bly. Bly really needs to do something to change his fortunes in this game. Unfortunately, trading really poorly on those first 2 exchanges. Big Zergling counter-attack here on the third base. If he can take down this base, this is exactly what he needs. He's doing massive damage to the drone line. How many drones can he pick off? He's up to 20 workers killed if he can finish off these mining gas. Though we have Tefel at the main base trying to go toe-to-toe with Bly at the door of his base. These Queens making a bit of a difference here. With the third base has gone down for both players, so it's 2 base to 2 base. Tefel's still got a few extra Mutalist Zerglings now in the expansion, picking off drones left and right. He's already picked off 11, 12 of his own. We have Bly Zerglings here still doing damage as well, so Tefel only mining on 1 base now. Have a Spore Crawler finally finishing up for Bly. This will help secure this natural, but we need to get the Zerglings off the ground. We have Mutalisks going. We have Mutalisks coming out now for Bly, but bad rally point's going to send them through the other units. Can he pick off a few of these extra units? all he's got to do is clear off these Zerglings and he can hide in his mineral line. These spore crawlers do massive damage to other air units, but I feel like there's just too many Zerglings on the field. Bly's still managing to hold on, but by the skin of his teeth. We have these spore crawlers going down, but Tefel's Mutalisk Cloud's just too big. Not enough mining going on. Zerglings in the main base are going to take out the remainder of these drones. Spine Crawler almost going down. Oh, able to kill another Mutalisk there. Nice little pickup. Very cost effective, these Spine Crawlers. Third Mutalisk going down. Able to pick off that Spore Crawler now. Can Bly stabilise here? There's just too many Mutalisks on the field. If Tefel being relentless, picking off the extractors, knowing that it's a gas game, whoever has the most gas will be able to continue producing Mutalisks. Another counter attack from Bly's Zerglings, but this Mutacloud continues to grow. We have 15 Mutalisks on the field, and Bly forced to tap out there. So unfortunate for Bly, but I can't help but feel it was downhill from that from the first engagement. Losing that big surge of Banelings on a Spine Crawler, really it could very well have gone the other way. So both these players showcasing they've got excellent ZvZ skills. Unfortunately for Bly, Tefel getting the better end of the deal there. Mutalisk out just a bit early and able to cripple the third base of Bly. So Tefel able to take a 1-0 lead in this best of 5 series to see whether Tefel will keep the king of the hill or whether Bly is going to send him back to school. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and tune in for game number 2 in just a minute.